Hello friends! My name is Miss Jana with the Sunny Side of Learning, and today's read aloud is The Night Before Christmas, written by Clement C. Moore. Now if you go to the bookstore, you'll see lots of different versions of this story. They typically all follow the original poem, but many different artists have put their own illustrations with the story. The one I chose has very vibrant colors, and I thought you might enjoy it. Let's begin our story. 'Twas the night before Christmas, and all through the house not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse. The stockings were hung by the chimney with care, in hopes that St. Nicholas soon would be there. The children were nestled all snug in their beds, while visions of sugar plums danced in their heads. And Mama in her kerchief and I in my cap had just settled our brain for a long winter's nap, when out on the lawn there arose such a clatter, I sprang from my bed to see what was the matter. Away to the window I flew like a flash, tore open the shutters and threw up the sash. The moon on the breast of the new-fallen snow gave the luster of midday to objects below, when what to my wondering eye should appear but a miniature sleigh and 8 tiny reindeer, with a little old driver so lovely and quick, I knew in a moment it must be Saint Nick. More rapid than eagles his coursers they came, and he whistled and shouted and called them by name. Now Dasher, now Dancer, now Prancer and Vixen, on Comet, on Cupid, on Donner and Blitzen. To the top of the porch, to the top of the wall, now dash away, dash away, dash away all. And dry leaves that before the wild hurricane fly, when they meet with an obstacle mount to the sky. So up to the housetop the coursers they flew, with a sleigh full of toys and St. Nicholas too. And then in a twinkling I heard on the roof the prancing and pawing of each little hoof. As I drew in my head and was turning around, down the chimney St. Nicholas came with a bound. He was dressed all in fur from his head to his foot, and his clothes were all tarnished with ashes and soot. A bundle of toys he had flung on his back, and he looked like a peddler just opening his pack. His eyes how they twinkled, his dimples how merry, his cheeks were like roses, his nose like a cherry. His droll little mouth was drawn up like a bow, and the beard on his chin was as white as the snow. A stump of a pipe he held tight in his teeth, and the smoke encircled his head like a wreath. He had a broad face and a little round belly that shook when he laughed like a bowl full of jelly. He was chubby and plump, a right jolly old elf, and I laughed when I saw him in spite of myself. A wink of his eye and a twist of his head soon gave me to know I had nothing to dread. He spoke not a word, but went straight to his work, and filled all the stockings, then turned with a jerk. And laying his finger aside of his nose, and giving a nod up the chimney, he rose. He sprang to his sleigh, to his team gave a whistle, and away they all flew like the down of a thistle. But I heard him exclaim, ere he drove out of sight, "Merry Christmas to all, and to all a good night." Now that we've finished reading our poem, I want to talk to you about poems. Poems are made up of lines and stanzas. Let's talk about what they mean. A line is a single row of words in a poem. A stanza is a group of lines in a poem that are separated by a space. Now you might be familiar with a paragraph, which is a group of sentences grouped together that are separated by a space. A stanza is similar to a paragraph because it's the lines in a poem that are grouped together and separated by a space. Let's take a look at our poem so you can see how many lines and how many stanzas are in the poem "'Twas the Night Before Christmas." On the left in yellow, the stanzas are all labeled. So we can see that altogether there are 14 stanzas in this poem. Now we can also figure out the number of lines that make up this poem. On the right side, you'll see little numbers in red, and they're labeled every fourth line in this poem. It starts with 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, and it's labeled all the way to 56 on the last line of the poem. So that means that there are 56 lines in this poem. I hope you enjoyed our classic Christmas story, "'Twas the Night Before Christmas." And I'm so glad you got to review some of our poetry vocabulary.
To continue your learning, I have downloadable packets for kindergarten through 2nd and 3rd through 5th grade.
Until our next story, happy learning. Goodbye.
For more educational content like this video, please subscribe, like, and share.